Hi, my name is Leah Day and welcome to this video for the Dancing Butterfly Quilt. Today we're stitching a new design called Bubble Fern. It's really cheerful and it includes those kind of thread painted built up circles that we've learned in other designs. So let's check out the design and do some tracing before we try and quilt it. So here's the worksheet for this pretty design, and if you're looking for this diagram, you can find it right here in the Dancing Butterfly Quilt pattern at leahday.com. Okay, so how does this design work? Well, this is a stem-centered design, which means we start with our stem, and then after we stitch the stem, we branch off and then swirl into that dense circle. We've done this before a few times. We're going to kind of thread paint the circle and then swing back to the stem. Stitch down a little bit, swing out, circle around, and come back. That's how this design is going to work. Definitely spend some time tracing this and practicing it before you try quilting it, and do quilt this a few different times, both on the marked line and freehand, so that way you get a good amount of practice before stitching it out in your block. So I'm going to get started stitching in my quilt block, and I've already filled in one, and now I'm working right up through the center of the block with a long curving line. The stem that you stitch is really kind of a foundation for the design, so that's what you want to start with first. Now I like to kind of angle the block over so I can really get a good look at my leaves as I stitch them. I stitch down just a bit, come down and out, and swirl into a circle. Then I'm going to keep circling around and around until I feel like it's filled, and then stitch back to and around to that stem. So those steps again, I'm going to travel stitch down, swing out and around, swirl into a circle and fill it, then stitch out and kind of down and back up. I'm kind of making a nice lower curve right here as I connect back to that stem. And you know, the more I've stitched these, the more I realize they're a little bit like feathers. They're kind of curvy and fluid in the same way that feathers are. So if you struggled with feathers, this might be a design that you want to stitch quite a bit, and it might help you build skill for feathers too. So that's it for Bubble Fern. I hope that you enjoy learning this new design. If you like a longer version of this video, and of course the practice worksheet to play with, definitely click here to check out the Dancing Butterfly Quilt pattern. Well, you'll find all of that and more and be able to join us as we create this beautiful butterfly quilt. Until next time, let's go quilt.